Hi, everyone. I have something to read to you. So this is a shout out to everyone in Britain and also around the world. The steps that you can take may be marginally different, but I hope that this video inspires you to feel that you can do something similar. Humanity needs your help and you are not powerless to resist. We do, however, have to start making a concerted effort to engage with the parliamentary or governance systems wherever we live. I know that some people think that all the governments are entirely corrupt and that there are no good people in anything approaching power who have regard for anything other than money. But it is time to put that hypothesis to the test. If we test the hypothesis and find it to be accurate, then we're at liberty to, in good conscience, approach the problem of infrastructure in other ways. So the first thing I did was put in a freedom of information request to my local council, asking for the risk assessment regarding the LED street lighting that we see all around us. Be careful to specify that you want the risk assessment to the environment, humanity, and not the risk assessment that was done for the people putting up the infrastructure, or you, like me, will probably be delayed by an entirely understandable misapprehension regarding your request. Please also ask for their 5G policy. In my case, I am now the proud owner of the health and safety assessment done for the safety of the hard labour that went into these unsightly erections, and a sentence which denotes that Argyll and Bute Council have no policy on 5G. I was then fortunate enough to receive a letter saying that my MSP for the area was doing a roving surgery. So all I needed to do was call the number on the correspondence and ask for a house call. But you can, as easily, look up the phone number for your MP, call and ask for an audience at either their next surgery or before if they won't be holding one for a while. They're here to serve you. I didn't have time before meeting my MSP to garner the answer to my intended request regarding the health and safety of our actual children, but the misdirect speaks sufficient volume that it was in itself useful. I then printed out the manufacturer street lighting specification for the poles and lights themselves, which explains in detail how the street lighting can be used to support the Internet of Things, including the facilitation of 5G. I'll put a link in the video description. I also printed out the Scottish Smart City Alliance document, which denotes the degree to which Scotland is signed up for this initiative. If you're not in Scotland, then all you have to do is put the name of your country or state into a search along with the words smart city, and you will find similar affirmation that your area is signed up for the hell that is constant surveillance hosted by an electromagnetic radiation which is frying your brain. And the last thing I printed out was the first 3 pages of the report commissioned by the European Parliament in 2021 that states in its abstract conclusion that 5G is carcinogenic, damaging to fertility, and likely the development of fetuses in the womb. I will take a photo of these pages and put them on my Facebook feed, or you can email me at temora, Temora, at live.co.uk, and I'll send you a copy of the PDF. Thus armed, I welcomed the MSP for Argyll and Bute into my home and asked her, I said to her, thank you for coming to visit me and listening to my concerns regarding LED street lighting, 5G, smart city infrastructure, and the degree to which it is being rolled out in Scotland, largely without knowledge, far less the consent of the Scottish electorate. I would be grateful if you would take these concerns to the Scottish Parliament and request that a concerted effort is made to ensure that the Scottish population are made aware of this move towards all-encompassing surveillance facilitated by an electromagnetic field that, as far as the limited research is able to establish, is both carcinogenic and detrimental to fertility, as well as being lethal to the wildlife which sustains the ecological diversity upon which the food chain is dependent in order to sustain life. I'll pop that paragraph in the description and you can edit it so that it suits you. My MSP is now going to raise the question in the Scottish Parliament regarding the health and safety risk assessment that has or hasn't been done regarding the potential impact of LED street lighting and 5G on the actual Scottish electorate. It's not much, But if people in every constituency around the world started doing this simultaneously, then it could create a fledgling wave, and who knows where that wave would crest. It's better than doing nothing, if for no other reason than that it's another means of raising awareness, which is primarily what we need to do here if we're to have any chance of halting and reversing this rollout through official channels. In conclusion, I'd like to iterate that I am not special, nor particularly clever. I'm just a middle-aged mother coming to you from a very small country, somewhere far too close to the North Pole for my liking, and you too can do this. If nothing else, it nullifies the keyboard warrior designation. Also, and this is a little bit off-piste, but I've always done a lot of reading about the resistance during the Second World War. And latterly, I was reading a book which brought me to tears, concluding as it did with one of the women who valiantly resisted the French occupation, shouting "Vive la France!" as she woke from an ineffectual anesthetic to find herself being inserted feet first into one of the concentration camp ovens. Anyway, the resistance was not, as one might be forgiven for construing it, just one concerted effort by an organized force to overthrow the Third Reich. It's the umbrella term for every single person who did any little thing to resist the status quo in any great or small way. If any single one of those people hadn't done whatever they did, we wouldn't have had the life and freedoms that our generation have enjoyed and that they are now trying to take away from our children. Nothing is pointless. Everything is something. Vive la résistance. I love you. You can do this.